going on, everybody? Wanted to do a video to talk and follow up on my trip to Vegas using the Fujifilm X-E3 and the 23mm f2, what we saw, and then also I'm going to put a slideshow at the end of this so you can see all the photos, which I didn't share in the last video. So I wanted to do that. Yeah, had a great time. I think, like I said in the last video, if I did mention it, is that, one of the main things that was crucial was not having a car and using your legs. A lot of times we rent the car when we're on vacation, but I think this time we decided, not to and really get out and use our legs. We did utilize Uber, so whenever we needed to get to a central part of the strip, we would, set a destination, have the Uber drop us off, and then we got out and used our legs. And I think that was a great move. It worked out really well to do that. There's no better way to see a city than to use your legs. You're forced to kind of slow down, see everything. But when you're in a car, you're driving everywhere, you're always setting a destination. And unless you purposely just park somewhere and then walk, you're not going to be able to really get that same experience. So I think that was an important factor. And so what we saw. So we saw an exhibit called Caledonia in I believe it was in Caesar's Palace, in one of their museums, kind of an exhibit room that they prepare for different, artists that create these exhibits. So we happened to walk by and we seen this one and found it interesting. So it was about black performers who used the Chitlin circuit to, basically have a safe haven to perform during the segregation. And it displayed the artwork of the time, and the artists that we've all come to know as the greats of the industry, from Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, B.B. King, and so many more that that are hard to mention, right? So many to mention, but they used the Chitlin circuit for safety, as a way to still perform, make money, and reach out to their fans in a safe way, because performing in venues that weren't black owned or supported by a black community weren't safe. They get all, they had to be done under certain conditions which were not favorable. And just to see the artwork and just what they had to go through, and then understanding, like, I've heard of the Chitlin circuit, and if you don't know, the Chitlin circuit is basically a network of black-owned venues, bars, speakeasies, juke joints, that would just connect with the performing artists of the time to give them a place to just be amongst their people safely. And so I thought that was very interesting. And it wasn't something we planned, it's just something we happened to walk into. And we caught it probably about an hour before the exhibit was, the museum was closing for the day. So sometimes, like I said, when you're walking, you just find things, to do. Then we went to the Grand Canyon and saw the Hoover Dam as well. And that was a great experience. And then, what was important about that was the tour guide educating us on how Las Vegas kind of got, enrolled into the politics and things like that. And the things that these casinos that have big names, they all have a story. So if you dig deep enough, every casino's name has a story, and that, involves politics and money. So I thought that was interesting. But so enough talking. Had a great time. We're definitely going to be back. This was an underrated trip. I also wrote a blog about it. I'm going to post it in the description, so check that out. And then you could also see the photos and take your time with it. But let's move on to the slideshow, so check that out.